Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramaham. The killing of demons Vatsasura and Bakasura. So, in the previous chapter, we have heard about how the two Yamala trees, the Arjuna trees, were uptorn by when Krishna came in between, right? So he was tied up with the mortar, right? So Krishna is the other name of Krishna is Damodara, right? So as Damodara, Dama Udara means belly. Dama is rope. So he was tied with the rope to his belly by Mother Yashoda. And Krishna came in between those two trees, Arjuna trees, by crawling. And what has happened? The trees fell down, right? So until that, we have already heard, and we also heard that from that trees, two heavenly people came out. Denizens, like the Gandharvas came out. Who are they? They are sons of Kubera, Nalakubera and Manigriva, right? So they came out of those trees and they paid obeisances to Krishna and they went off. Now, after this particular chapter continues where Srila Prabhupada has very beautifully explained what has happened after that. So it is said that the children there were watching what is happening around. And, Nanda Maharaj quickly came after hearing this very loud sound after having the trees fallen. So there was a very loud sound, and Nanda Maharaj and all the other inhabitants of Gokula, they came running to see what has actually happened. And they saw that the huge trees were, they fell down. Somebody is speaking. Can you please go on mute, please? He said that, Krishna came in between these two trees and he pulled he was trying to go in between from this came two different dazzling men. These people who were there, they were not able to. Probably somebody messaged that lagging. Is my voice lagging?
Yes, Mataji, your audio is choppy, lagging.
Maybe Mataji, you may turn off your camera so that the bandwidth will be a little better then.
Sure, Prabhuji. Actually, I logged in from my mobile. Okay. Is it better now, Prabhuji?
It's better, Mataji.
It's better, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So, right. So when they came over there, they said that, the children said that two denizens, the dazzling men came out of the tree and they said something to Krishna. They paid obeisances to Krishna and they left. So some of the people who were over there, some of the elderly Gopas who were there, they did not believe what Krishna said. And but some did believe. Some said that, oh, your son is really very special. He has been saved by so many demons who came to attack Krishna earlier. Somehow or the other, he's been saved. So something special is there in your son. Some of them claimed that. And Nanda Maharaj was really so happy to hear that. He smiled when he heard about the abilities of his son. When they were praising about Krishna, Nanda Maharaj really felt so happy. And he came to untie that, whatever rope was tied to Krishna's belly, right? So he came to untie that. Now, one thing that we need to ponder upon is who tied Krishna, right? So Krishna was tied by Yashoda Maya. And who is Yashoda Maya? Yashoda Maya is also a great devotee of the Lord in the Vatsalya Rasa, right? And why did she tie Krishna? Because he was doing all these tantrums of breaking the pot, the butter pot, and all those things. And when she came,
Hare Krishna Mataji, again your audio is breaking.
मुहुर्नेत्र युग्मं रुजन्तं करां भोज युग्मेन सातंक नेत्रम मुहुश्वास कंपति रेखांकंठस्थित ग्रैव दामोदरम भक्तिबद्धम. So what is important over there is bhakti. So she was able to tie Krishna because she had bhakti in her, right? He is same Krishna who is termed in Srimad Bhagavatam as Yad Bibheti Swayam Bhayam, which means that the fear personified will be fearful of Krishna's name. So he is called Yad Bibheti Swayam Bhayam. Swayam Bhayam भी डर जाता है उनसे. Bibhe Yashoda Maya has tied Krishna. Now he can easily untie himself, right? He is the supreme personality of the Godhead. Who is going to stop him? Nobody will stop him. But again, if we go back to Chaurashtakam, which was written by Bilomangal Thakur, what does he write over there? Chinatsi ghoram yamapasha bandham bhinatsi bhimam bhavapasha bandham chinatsi sarvasya samasta bandham naivatmano bhakta kritam tu bandham. What it means is, for any one of us who is in this material world, who is into the terrible noose of Yamaraja, that Yamapasha bandham, who is tied by Yamapasha, that also once if somebody chants the holy name of the Lord, then the Lord is capable enough to cut the terrible noose of Yamaraja. Not only that, Bhavapasha bandham, whatever bandham is there with Bhavapasha, the material existence, that also Lord Krishna's name, just by chanting his name, this dreadful noose can be cut down. And samasta bandham, whatever bondage is there, material bondage is there, he will be able to cut all those things. But what is written at the end is Naivatmano bhakta kritam tu bandham. Naiva atmano matlab, for his own self, what has been tied by his the knot that has been fastened by his devotees, he cannot untie it himself. He can cut down anything for his devotees. Yamapasha bandham, Bhavapasha bandham, samasta bandham he can cut. But if the devotees has tied some knot to Krishna, he cannot cut it down. So he was tied by Yashoda Maya, and now he's untied by Nanda Maharaj. He cannot untie it, right? And why Nanda Maharaj? Nanda Maharaj is also a great devotee of the Lord. Krishna back after seeing that nothing has harmed Krishna. Two big trees have fallen down and nothing has harmed Krishna. So they were really very happy. So they took him back to the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj, and they all began to clap, and they were all singing the glories of Krishna, praising his wonderful activities. Now, Srila Prabhupada writes very beautifully how Krishna is enacting with them, right? So it is said that Krishna was also dancing like an ordinary child. When gopis were clapping their hands, he was also clapping, and he was also dancing just like an ordinary child.
The voice is breaking again. It's only for me or for everybody?
I think it is everybody, Prabhuji, from Mataji's side.
Love that the gopis had towards Krishna was good enough for Krishna to dance like a puppet in the hands of the gopis. And also Prabhupada writes that Mother Yashoda sometimes would ask Krishna to bring the wooden plank for sitting, for sitting she would ask Krishna, can you please get me that wooden plank? No, Krishna is a very small boy, and for him to get that wooden plank, it will be very heavy. But Krishna somehow he will juggle this side, that side, and somehow he will carry the wooden plank and he will get it. And similarly, when Nanda Maharaj, while he was worshipping Narayana, he would ask Krishna, can you please get me my wooden slippers? And we saw this in the Krishna book, right? There is a picture where Krishna is holding the wooden slippers on the head, and he is getting those padukas of Nanda Maharaj, right? A point to note is in the Bhagavatam itself, it is given that when the demigods have to approach the Lord, how do they go? They stand at the shore of the milk ocean, like the Kshira Samudra, whatever is there, right? They stand at the shore, and it is difficult for them even to see the toenail of the Lord. It is so difficult for them. And the same Lord is now carrying those padukas of Nanda Maharaj, and he's carrying over his head. The gopis are playing with Krishna just like a puppet. He is like a puppet in the hands of gopis. So Lord is exhibiting such childhood pastimes so beautifully with the inhabitants of Gokula, which Srila Prabhupada writes very beautifully that the Lord wanted to show the great philosophers and sages searching after the absolute truth, how the supreme absolute truth or the personality of the Godhead is controlled by the subjects to the desire of his pure devotees. Koti Satavatsara tapasya, they will not be able to reach to the stage what the pure devotees of the Lord have reached to, right? So this comparison is very beautifully, I mean, it has been presented here by Srila Prabhupada in this particular chapter. And then comes the beautiful pastime of the fruit vendor. Like how a fruit vendor once came to Nanda Maharaj's place and she was selling the fruits. So at that point in time, what happens? So there was a barter system at that point in time. So in exchange of fruits, they will have to give some grains. So Nanda Maharaj got some grains for her, and she got the fruits, and in the barter system, she gave those fruits, and Nanda Maharaj was exchanging it for those grains. Now Krishna also saw this, and Krishna also wants to take some fruits. He was also very happy that I also want to take some fruits. So he also approaches the fruit vendor and says, "Can I also have some fruits?" And the fruit vendor sees Krishna and she gets captivated by the beauty of Krishna. And she says, "Of course, I can give you. You tell me how many fruits you want." And Krishna chooses those fruits. And then he sees Nanda Maharaj and he's trying to imitate the same things, like, I also have to give something to her in exchange of these fruits. So he also carries certain grains in his hands, in his palm. But however, since he's a very small child, his palm is very small, and upon that, while he's walking, some grains were already dropping on the way. Somehow or the other, he could gather very few grains in his palm. When he came to the fruit vendor, he showed those grains that he was holding in his hands. And he was so morose that, "Oh, I couldn't give much." But the fruit vendor said, "This is enough for me." And she felt lift or take back the basket in which she was keeping the fruits, she found that it is filled in with jewels, rubies, diamond, gold, all those things. So, one moral out of this story is whatever we give to Krishna, even if we give a little to Krishna, Krishna will return it in many, many folds. So, it is only the endeavor that matters, not what we give. It is the purity that matters. It is the endeavor of the devotees that matter. Lord says, "Naham tishtami vaikunte yoginam hridayeshu cha tatra tishtami narada yatra gayanti mad bhakta." So I don't sit in the hearts of yoga. Happy to give the fruits to Lord, and equally Lord reciprocated. Now we see similar kind of story even in Chaitanya Leela, where Lord Chaitanya, once he was going back to Nilachal. So he was in an ecstasy. He was just running to go back to Nilachal. And along with him, his associates were also coming. But then he walked a little front. He was very thirsty, and he found a vendor, one person who was selling buttermilk. And Lord Chaitanya, he asks if I can get some buttermilk. The person offers, seeing a sannyasi. The person really feels so amazed by seeing the sannyasi and falls at the feet of the sannyasi and says, "I have this pot of buttermilk. Please take this buttermilk." And Lord Chaitanya drinks the whole pot of buttermilk. And he says, well, I don't have money. I'm a sannyasi. So my associates are coming behind. They will give you the money. You can collect the money from my associates who are coming from behind. But prior to coming, he informed all his associates not to carry any money. No money has to be carried. This was a strict instruction by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to all his associates whenever they travel anywhere. So it was very obvious that none of his associates carried any money. So while the associates came, they asked this person, "Did you see a sannyasi walking by this way?" Then the person said, "Yes." He just walked past this way, and he drank the whole pot of buttermilk from me, and he said that collect the money from my associates. So please give me money. And they were puzzled. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said not to carry money, and now this person is asking for money. They said, sorry, we don't have money to give you. This person said, okay, I will, it is something which is destined for me. So I will treat this as like is filled with all the jewels, emeralds, everything. And then he runs back to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to seek his mercy. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu truly he says that you have got the mercy of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. So this is how we can relate some of the stories in Krishna Leela and Chaitanya Leela. Now coming back to our original story, what we were discussing. So then next is the mention of how Krishna and Balram were playing. So it is mentioned that Krishna and Balram were so much engrossed in playing that Mother Rohini, she comes to call them. She says, Krishna and Balram, please come back home. Maya goes and she says that, my dear Krishna, please come back. O lotus-eyed one, Krishna, please come back. O Balram, the glory of your family, please come back. Nanda Maharaj is waiting for you. You need to have your lunch done. So please come back home. So as soon as they hear that Nanda Maharaj is waiting, they say that, oh, we should not make Nanda Maharaj wait for us. So they immediately start to return. Now, the Gopas, other friends of the Sakhas of Krishna, they start threatening Krishna, the playmates of Krishna, they start threatening Krishna. We are not going to play again with you. You people, whenever we are in the summit of the game, you try to somehow or the other skip. So I've heard in some of the classes where, the similar conversation happens when Krishna is playing along with his Bal Sakhas, and then Krishna wants to leave. They say that next time we are not going to take you in our team. You are not allowed to play at all. He says, well, you can't do this to me. You know who I am? I am a prince. Nanda Maharaj is the king, and who I am? I am his son, so I am the prince. So to be king, so you should respect me. And they start laughing. All the Bal Sakhas, the Gopals, they start laughing. They say, oh, you are the prince. You don't even know how to eat your food properly. Yashoda Maya has to feed you, and you're saying you're the prince. Then Krishna says, okay, but kuch to respect, though I have lifted Govardhan. You must have seen that, with my little finger of my left hand, I lifted Govardhan. Again, the Bal Sakhas are laughing. Then Krishna is puzzled. Oh, why are you laughing? I really lifted the Govardhan. You must have seen. Then they quote a verse, which if we go to Govardhan, now the Gopals are saying, do you think it was your own strength through which you have lifted Govardhan? If you are thinking so, please let me tell you, the strength was given to you because Mother Yashoda fed you with nice butter. Kachu makan se bal badayo. You ate that nice butter which was churned by Mother Yashoda. With that, your strength has increased. And if we have to think, then let me tell you, Kachu Gopan Kare Saha, if you have noticed, we were putting that latis. When you were holding that Govardhan, we were not keeping idle. We were also holding the latis over there. So we were also supporting you. So in a way, it is not just your own effort, but we have put the latis over there. Besides all this, Shri Radhaji ki kripa so. So Srimati Radharani was there. She was glancing on you because of Srimati Radharani's kripa. Govardhan Liota, you were able to lift Govardhan. So it is not your own strength. If you feel that it was your own strength, then please let me tell you, it is not your own strength. It was because of Srimati Radharani's kripa that you were able to lift the Govardhan. So this way, all the Gopas, they used to taunt Krishna. Now, one thing we have to understand is they are all in the mood of Sakya Rasa. So, for Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, Rohini Maya, for all of them, it is Vatsalya Rasa. So, for Krishna, the taunts that he gets from Mother Yashoda or from his friends or from Srimati Radharani and Gopis in the Madhurya Rasa, it is mentioned that the Acharyas say that these chastisements that Krishna received is very, very great to him, even greater than the Vedic hymns chanted by the Brahmanas. He enjoys this even more than the Vedic hymns sung by the Brahmanas. And if we look about the Vaikuntha Loka is filled with awe and reverence. But this happens only in Goloka Vrindavan, where he will get these chastisements from Mother Yashoda in Gokula by Mother Yashoda, and Radharani is chastising him, and Krishna himself serves Srimati Radharani, and also Gopas, they think that Krishna is equal to them. They never think that, oh, he's supreme personality of the Godhead, we have to respect him. No, they treat him same. So in Amarendra Prabhu's class, we heard that the Gopals say that, Ami tumi sam, we are all equal. Don't think that you are great. We are all equal. So that is the nice relation or the rasas that they cherish, right? So this is how the playmates of Krishna were threatening him. If you really go back, we are not going to let you play again. So Krishna and Balram, they again go back, being afraid that they will not be allowed to play. And then Yashoda Maya now starts scolding the children and tells to Krishna, Krishna, do you think you're a street boy? You have no home. You are playing here like anything since morning, and it's already dawn and you are still playing. It is not right for you. You have become so dirty. Now come back home and take bath. And it's also your birthday. So you need to give charity to the Brahmanas. Give cows in charity to the Brahmanas. See how beautifully your friends are decorated. Their mothers have decorated them so nicely. So you also have to take bath, wear nice dress, ornaments, and you have to give charity to the Brahmanas. Now you have to come back. So in this way, Mother Yashoda calls Lord Shri Krishna and Balarama. It is said, Srila Prabhupada writes here that Mother Yashoda calls back Lord Shri Krishna and Balarama, who are worshipable by the great demigods like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, and she is thinking them as her children, right? So he is the most worshipable one, even to the demigods like Lord Brahma and Shiva. What to speak about anyone else? But Yashoda Maya, in pure love, in the Vatsalya Rasa, she's treating them as her own children. So she doesn't think that he is the supreme personality of the Godhead. I'm not supposed to chastise him like that. No, that's the pure love. Right. So after that, when Shri Krishna and Balaram come back, she bathed them nicely, gave them nice ornaments and nice dresses, and the charity was also given to the Brahmanas. And the birthday ceremony was also performed of Krishna's at home. And later, after this incident, what happens is all the elderly cowherd men, they assemble at one place, and Nanda Maharaj and the brother of Nanda Maharaj, who's Upananda, they all meet, and also the cowherd men, they meet over there. And Upananda is considered as one of the leaders over there. He addresses the meeting. He says that in this Gokula, we find that there are a lot of disturbances happening. Especially we see that there are attempts happening to kill the small children, like Putana came in and she tried to attack Krishna, to kill Krishna. But somehow, with the grace of Lord Hari, they were unaware that Lord Krishna is present over there. He is Supreme Personality of the Godhead. He is capable of saving himself, not only himself, but the entire Brahmanda. But they are assuming that it is due to the grace of Lord Hari that Krishna was saved from the hands of such a great demon. Whirlwind demon came, and then he was also saved and he fell down. And they also talk about how the two trees, the Arjuna trees, fell down, and Krishna was harmless, though he was playing very close by, right? And they say that every time Lord Hari is saving us from these calamities, what would have happened if Krishna got injured, or any other child would have got crushed between these falling trees? And they consider that this place is no longer safe, so they have to leave. and they pray to Lord Hari. They thank Lord Hari that Lord Hari has been saving Lord Krishna every time. So now they say that, okay, where should we go? So they think that there is a forest called as Vrindavana. It's very close to Govardhan Hill. It's very beautiful, where it is suitable. It has suitable pasturing grounds for the cows, and the families can also live over there, and everyone will be able to enjoy very nicely. Like in Bhagavatam, there is a shloka, Hantaya Madhurabla Haridasa Varyo Yad Ramakrishna Charana Sparsha Pramoda Manam Tanote Sahago Ganayostayoya Pani Asuya Vasakandara Kandamule. Right? Everything is available over there for the cows, for children to drink water or to play in the caves. There are trees. Everything is there which can give fruits, everything. So the needs of everyone will be fulfilled over there. So the Govardhan, which is very close to Vrindavan, so that will fulfill all the needs. So we should probably go to the forest called as Vrindavan. There, everything is beautifully available, and we can safely live over there. So everybody agrees to what Upananda says, and they immediately say that, okay, let us immediately go over there. So everything is being arranged, the carts are being arranged, the children, women, and the elderly people who are there, they are seated onto the cart, and the cows and bulls are placed in front of, along with the calves, they are placed in the front of the carts, and all the elderly ones, the cowherd men, they carry the bows and arrows, and they follow the carts by blowing the horns, bugles, and it's like a tumultuous sound when while they are on the way to Vrindavan. And Prabhupada also writes about how the gopis were enjoying there, and also Yashoda Maya and Rohini Mata, they were seated in the carts, and they had Krishna and Balram on their laps, and they were talking to Krishna and Balram. They were all the way, they were singing the glories of Krishna, and it really looked very, very beautiful. So after reaching over Vrindavan, they constructed a temporary residence, and they all stayed over there, and they were all talking about the glories of Krishna. So one point over here to notice, the Brajavasis, they have no other topic other than the discussion about Lord Shri Krishna. So for them, Krishna is the entire topic of discussion. Krishna and Balram are the entire topics of discussion. So, and Krishna and Balram really enjoys this because they are the devotees of the Lord, and the devotees of the Lord can never forget the Lord for a moment. And similarly, Lord also never forgets the devotees of Lord for a moment. And this was a great exchange of love between the Brajavasis and Krishna Balaram. Now, when Krishna Balaram, they grew a little up, sufficiently enough to take charge of calves, then they were given the charge of the calves. And this becomes like a training for them to be able to take care of cows next. So first they have to take care of the little calves. So Krishna Balram, they went into the pasturing grounds by taking the calves along with them. And what they were doing, they were playing nicely on the flute. They were playing sometimes with these some fruits, bale fruits, and all these things like balls. They used to use that as balls, and they would play. They will ring their ankle bells, and they will cover themselves with the blankets, behaving like bulls and cows, and they would imitate the sounds that the bulls and cows would make. All those things, and birds chirping, all these things they would make. They would play just like ordinary kids, like how ordinary kids would play. Like that, they would enjoy along with their playmates. They would play. So now that Krishna and Balaram are tending the calves, now Kamsa sends one demon called as Vatsasura. Vatsasura is a demon who comes in the form of a calf, because now Krishna and Balaram are tending calves, so he assumes that I can mingle myself within the calves and I can cheat them somehow. So he comes in the form of a calf, and he tries to kill both Krishna and Balaram. But now Krishna, he is a supreme personality of the Godhead. Though he is in the form of a child, he cannot be fooled by anyone. So he immediately understands that he is none other than a demon. So Krishna, what he does, he silently he goes to that Vatsasura, and then he holds the backside legs of the Vatsasura demon and the tail also, and whips him around very forcibly and throws him down onto a tree. After that, what happens? The demon falls down and loses its life, right? And then when all these Gopas are seeing, they see that this demon is laying on the ground. They initially thought that it is a calf who is playing along with the remaining calves. But then they understand that he is a demon who has come down to harm them. And then they say, oh, well done, well done, well done, well done. They feel so happy and they congratulate him. And what happens is the demigods on the sky, they start showering the flowers, right? And they feel so happy that one more demon has been killed by the hands of Lord Shri Krishna. So in this way, Lord Shri Krishna and Balram, they take care of the calves every day, and they enjoy their childhood pastimes like any other normal child in the presence of the remaining cowherd boys. And it so happens that in yet another day, the cowherd boys, they go to Yamuna river to tend their calves. And while the calves are drinking water from Yamuna, the other Gopals are also drinking, and Krishna Balram are also there. They're sitting over there. They see a big heron. I think it's called as bagul or something. So a big heron, and the heron was a very, very big, like, Prabhupada writes that it was as big as a hill and its top was as strong as thunderbolt. So this was like an unusual animal, Bakasura, right? This is called as Bakasura. So Bakasura is the sibling of Putana. Putana is also called as Baki, right? In one of the phrases which in the discussion that happens, we hear in Chaitanya Charitamrita, they say that Aho Bhakyam Stanakala Kutam. So they praise Baki, Putana, for though she has given the poisonous milk to Krishna, but Krishna gave the fortune to her that she's got the position of a nurse in Golok Vrindavan. So that's the position. So she's called as Baki in comparison to Baka. Baka is Bakasura. She's called as Baki. So Bakasura came here as a heron, and Bakasura wanted to kill Krishna. So what did he do? He came in the form of a big heron, and as soon as he came over there, he swallowed up Krishna. Immediately, he swallowed up Krishna. And it is mentioned that as soon as he swallowed up Krishna, the friends of Krishna who were around, they said, Kayore, Kayore. They shouted, Kayore, Kayore. I mean, he swallowed Krishna, he swallowed Krishna. They're Kayore, Kayore. And it is said that after this word, Kayore, Kayore, the place name itself became some Kayore, something like that. It is in Kadiravan. So that name Kayore, Kayore eventually gave to the name of the village also, which is there in Kadiravan. So they said Kayore, Kayore, and they all fainted because they couldn't see Krishna being harmed by anyone. And as soon as Bakasura swallowed up Krishna, he felt the burning sensation, the fiery sensation in his throat, because Krishna, the glowing effulgence was there. Krishna's glowing effulgence was felt within the throat of Bakasura. So immediately, Bakasura could not hold that, and he threw Krishna out. And he thought that he will pinch him with his beak. He did not know that Krishna was the supreme personality of the Godhead. Though he is a small child, he is playing as a child of Nanda Maharaj. He is not to be thought like an ordinary child. He is the supreme personality of the Godhead himself who has come there. So Bakasura did not know that. Not only Bakasura, but none of the Asuras who came over there. Now Asuras have some or the other bad virtues, right, through which they come over there. And of course, what to talk about Kamsa? Kamsa also did not know. Had he known that Krishna is the supreme personality of the Godhead, though he heard it from the celestial voice that Krishna, the eighth son of Devaki, is going to kill Krishna, he could not understand the supremacy of the Lord, right? So it is said in Bhagavad Gita that those who are in Asuras, they don't understand my supremacy. So it's very obvious that here Bakasura also, though he is there in front of Krishna, he couldn't understand the supremacy of the Lord, but he is thinking him to be an ordinary person. And when he could not hold him in the throat, he threw him down, but he thought that he'll pinch him with his beak. Srila Prabhupada writes that Bakasura did not know Krishna was playing the part of the child of Nanda Maharaj. He was still the original father of Lord Brahma, the creator of the universe, right? But he couldn't understand that. So now Krishna, who is the reservoir of pleasure of all the demigods, he held the heron by the two halves of its beak. So Bagul will have those beaks, right? Two big beaks. So he held those beaks and he tore apart those beaks of the heron. And Prabhupada writes that he did it very, very simply, very easily. Just like a child splits the blade of a grass, सूखा पत्ता जो है, सूखा blade grass जो है, अगर कोई बच्चा आराम से निकाल देता है उसको, he parts it out into two different places. Similarly, Lord Shri Krishna bifurcated the mouth of the huge heron who was over there. And it is said that the denizens of heaven, they showered the flowers, and they were playing the bugles, drums, and the conch shells. And as soon as they saw these children, the cowherd boys, when they saw this flowering, which was being put from the heavenly planets, and they heard the celestial sounds, they came back to their senses. And when they saw Krishna, who is freed from the mouth of Bakasura, they immediately ran to Krishna, embraced him. They felt as if they have regained their lives. Because when Krishna was in the mouth of Bakasura, they shouted, Kayore, Kayore, and they fainted. They thought that Krishna is out of their sight now. They will never be able to see Krishna again. They didn't know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of the Godhead, because they always treated Krishna as their own same level, right? So they felt that he's been swallowed by Bakasura. But now, when they saw Krishna over there and Bakasura, his beaks being torn apart, they felt as if they have regained their life, and they immediately came running towards Krishna. They embraced Krishna by holding chais, very tight to their chest. If a person is really extremely happy, only then they will be able to do this kind of emotions. It cannot be an artificial emotion that a person can come down and hold them tight to their chest, right? So they were truly so happy that Krishna is alive and nothing has been harmed to Krishna. So they were all discussing this, and they returned back home. And they went back to their home. They spoke about these things to the elderly people, the gopis and the cowherdmen, the elderly cowherdmen, and they started telling all this, how Krishna was saved and how he tore apart the beak of Bakasura, because they have a natural love for Krishna. It was not like they were forced to tell or something. They had a natural love for Krishna. And of course, the gopis and the cowherd men also had the natural love and affection towards Krishna. So they could not turn out their face, their eyes from the vision of Krishna. They were having a great love and affection towards Krishna. So they always glanced towards Krishna. And it is also said that Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Maya and all the gopis, they would smell the head of Krishna just to ensure that, yeah, he is all fine. Nothing has really happened to him. And they cannot even bear a slight injury to Krishna. That was the great affection that they had. And again, they thanked Lord Hari, telling that, oh, you have somehow or the other, you have, by grace of Lord Hari, Krishna has not got any injury. He has been saved. So they had some or the other troubles coming, but they always had faith on Lord Hari that he is somehow or the other protecting Krishna. And then they remembered the words of Gargamuni, how Gargamuni foretold all these things, that he will be attacked by so many demons, but he will be somehow or the other saved. So all these things they recollected, and all the cowherd men, including Nanda Maharaj, they were talking about the wonderful activities of Lord Shri Krishna and Balarama. So like this, they were absorbed in the thoughts of Krishna. All the gopis, all the gopas, and the elderly, everyone in Vrajadham were always incessantly talking about the glories of Shri Krishna. Srila Prabhupada writes, this is the effect of Krishna consciousness. What was enjoyed 5,000 years ago by Nanda Maharaj can still be enjoyed by Krishna conscious person simply by talking about the transcendental pastimes of Krishna and his associates. Nashta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. So one who reads Bhagavatam, Nashta prayeshu abhadreshu, whatever are amangal, abhadra, everything will be nashta, everything will be gone. So, and everyone will be able to enjoy that nectar just by hearing or just by meditating upon the transcendental pastimes of Lord Shri Krishna. So, Prabhupada writes, Krishna and Balaram enjoyed their pastimes, imitating Lord Ramchandra's monkeys who constructed the bridge over the ocean, and how Hanuman jumped over to Sri Lanka. Like this, they used to pass their childhood pastimes. So, in this way, the chapter unfolds for the next pastime of Lord Shri Krishna. Thank you. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo evacha pattanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. If anyone has any point to add or any questions or you have heard anything else, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mataji. And nicely about the Sakirasa between the gopis and Krishna. No? Initially, there were some audio breaks, but it was very wonderful, Mataji. We'll chant one round of Hare Krishna Mantra, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Time for quiz now. We have less time today for quiz.
Sorry, Prabhuji, please go ahead.
Yes, Mataji. Diti Mataji, can you please share your screen?
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please get ready to join. You have scanner here.
$25 of giant Mataji. 28. Okay. Few more. Let's start, Mataji. 29. Congratulations, Mohit Prabhu, Gauranga, and Jatin Prabhu. Thank you, all of you. Hare Krishna.